Welcome to the Real Locking Talk. You know what? For some reason, I'm alone. I don't know, man. I had a show planned, but our guest this week couldn't get it together somehow. So Nigel decided that now it's too late for him, which is okay, because I can only allocate a certain amount of time for him. And Simon, there's a chance he could have came on, I guess, but he's missing in action. I think he's probably still working or decided to plan something else. Erica, I'm not quite sure. So you're gonna have to just listen to me talk for a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, innit? Anyway, yeah, that song's called Why by the way. Everyone's probably wondering what is this song? This is a song I produced a while back, actually, a long time ago. I just think it really fits to this whole podcast thing. I don't know, it's kind of just nice. It kind of gets you in the mood, you know. It's like anyway, let's see what we talk about today, man. You know, you're joining me. Actually, I might put some music on the background for a change. I'm gonna see if I can just play some songs off. Let me see if I can put this on. This is a nice chilled song. I think it's always nice to not feel, you know, like alone when you're talking to yourself. You know, this is not the first sign of madness, by the way. This is the first sign of madness is actually doing something 1,000 times and thinking it's gonna work, but it doesn't. So now I'm talking to myself. I'm actually talking to you guys, which is great. Anyone who's watching, anyone's listening, are you out there? Are you out there? I don't know. Anyway, what I wanted to say, actually, I wanted to start the podcast off this week with my guests and my normal crew, the Horsemen, is if you've noticed, I got a really funny hairstyle. I'm just gonna take this off so you can have a quick look. I call this the 2021 teddy bear hairstyle. You know, the 2020 teddy bear cut. You know, no, the 2021 teddy bear cut. So, because I like to consider myself on the edge of a fashion. You know, the edge. But it's really interesting walking around in a place like, because I'm obviously living in Germany, and where there's not too many, how to say, melanated individuals walking around, and the kind of like reactions you get from the locals, because they're not used to seeing something so, what can I say, so individual as me, you know, or as you know, this. So you got the stupid questions like, what's with your hair? You know, they'll never really offend you, but you know they want to say, like, a couple of people don't care, they'll just say your hair is horrible, which I've heard too. But in most cases they'll be like, because they're trying to figure out what's my MO, why am I walking around with this looking like this? I think it looks really cool, I like it. One woman was like, actually I like your hair, but it's like a little girl's hairstyle. I was like, wow, if that's what you think it is, then it is, but I don't think it's a little girl's hairstyle. I think it's just a hairstyle, that's it. I'm not allowed to have a hairstyle. I don't know. Some people will say yes, some people will say no. Let's drink some water. You know, sorry. So yeah, what I want to know is, what I wanted to ask my comrades was, why is it that if I have a hairstyle like this, like, not in Germany, they ask questions, but a lot, I say 95% of the reaction was good. You like your hair, it's really cool, it's really creative. And there was always the small amount of people, which is about right, who will say I don't like it, or yeah, I like your old hairstyle. Normally I've got cornrows going back, I don't care. But what I realized is, like, in somewhere like UK, I'm from the UK, so I was born in Birmingham, around a lot of melanated individuals like myself. And now if I walk around with this hairstyle there, they're going to tell me how my hair looks dry, how it doesn't look very good, and, you know, I should sort out my do. And, you know, they'll put me down. They'll make me feel like, you can't go out like that, man. Don't go out like that. They'll put me down. That kind of hurts me, because, like, when I'm in Germany, I'll get positive reactions. But when I'm around my own people who think they know or okay, they do know, but think they know what's right for everybody who's their color, they'll be quick to put me down and slander me and tell me that I should fix up and whatever, and I think this is really sad. I think this is like us judging our own people. That's why I think there's a lot of problem among melanated individuals, because they're too much in each other's business and too much worrying about and keeping each other down. Actually, like, look, you don't look good, or he looks like a tramp, or his hair's not fixed up, fix up your hair, and I think, okay, there should be an element of what's the word, man, when you care, an element of care when you're looking after yourself, and make sure you look yourself tidy. But I think there should be people should be allowed to express themselves too a little bit, and not always have to follow the Joneses or the status quo. I think it's fine, but a lot of people, I don't know, take it to heart if you don't look that good. They take it personal. So I'm gonna change the song a little bit. So that's what I wanted to talk about and see what their opinion was. But if you got an opinion on that, maybe you can write to me and tell me why people seem to, especially people of my heritage, seem to want to put each other down when actually they should be trying to push everyone up. Like, there's this whole Black Lives Matter movement, and I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the media at the moment, anti-racial stuff. But to be honest, I think some people are hitting the nails on the head that sometimes melanated individuals are a little bit more racist than their counterparts. Sometimes it is like that, but it's a different kind of racism. Like, obviously, Europeans will be like, yeah, they'll say something about your color really offensive it's like covert racism. But like, black people, I think they do it in a funny way. Like, it's like they hate themselves, you know what I mean? They hate themselves. You see that a lot on the internet too, man. Like, for some reason, black people just don't like themselves, and I just can't really get used to that. Anyway, let's see. I got a message here. Let's see if anyone wants to join me on my, let's see, on my phone today. Okay, yeah, so it's okay. I've decided to go ahead with my own podcast. Okay, so wait there. Anyway, what I want to say was, I guess today was going to be the BG, the Prince of Rap. Unfortunately, he couldn't get, like I said earlier in the show, he couldn't get himself together with the technology. I think he's a little bit behind in that stuff. So we decided that I was going to move it to next week now. And I had Nigel on the line with me, but yeah, he was almost like he wanted to go for his dinner as well. So I was like, okay, I'll give him the night off. And I thought, now I'm going to do just something, because I like to put some stuff out, you know what I mean? Some content. I would like to tell you guys a little bit about what we've got planned. Well, we're putting out podcasts. We have the free podcasts that are running consistently weekly. That would be this one, Horsemen of Blackopolypse. On Thursday, we have the Family Affair, or A Family Affair podcast, which consists of pretty much my family and Erica when she has time. And then on Sundays, we have Living in Germany. Because I live in Germany, we kind of look at the perspective of what it's like for, especially as I'm a melanated individual, what it's like for me living in Germany, which is completely different if you're a European living in Germany, I guess, because we have some advantages and some disadvantages. We have things that we notice from our homeland that we notice completely different here. Like, I would say, I think I've said this before on the Living in Germany podcast, that there hasn't this stigmata that seems to follow black people, that they're all thieves and criminals. This is not really here, so like, we're not constantly pulled over by police. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, of course it happens a lot, but not like, I haven't really experienced it, so I can only say positive things about it. I think the police leave me alone and let me get on with it. But Butch would say that because there was a law put in place that people weren't allowed to racially profile people, so whatever happened, all I know is I can walk around. Whereas in England, if I drove the car that I drive now in England, I'm pretty sure the police would look at me and be like, okay, what's he into? Just based on the fact that my skin color doesn't really fit. We've got this podcast series coming up, Hidden Agenda. The first one's out. You can watch that. We had six voice actors, I believe it was. We all came in. We did our bits. We didn't record it together. We recorded it separately. But I've mixed it all together, and I think I've done a good job. Yeah, you can hear that it wasn't in one room, but I think I've managed to disguise it enough that it won't distract from the storyline. It's really good. The audio's finished now. I'm just finishing up the animation too. So when that's out, we've decided we're going to release the first 3 for free, and then after that, we're going to try and release the next 5 as a kind of like, because we'd like to make something back on it. We've put a lot of work into it, so we'd like to get something back. So we're hoping that if we give like at least 3 or 4 of them for free, the last 4 people can donate what they think it's worth. That'll be cool. I've changed the song again. These are all my songs, by the way. This is called Old Rhymes. You might be able to find it on my website. I'm not sure. If it's not, if you're interested in it, let me know and I'll put it up. Let me see. I did want to talk about something I just saw on the internet, because I've been watching this. Oh no, wait there. No, I don't want to jump to that yet. I don't even know if we should actually jump to that. What else we got? Podcasts. Yeah, we're doing podcast series, and we'll probably be releasing some kind of documentaries in the future. I'm not sure how that's going to be, because I know Simon is running his side project and he wants to do documentaries as well. Well, I want ours to focus a bit more on, I don't want to say black issues, but informing Europeans about black issues would be good. So it's for everybody. This is not a channel just for melanated people, black people. This is a channel for everybody. This is if you're interested in joining, you can hit me up and let me know. We can get something going together. The offer might be limited at the moment, because you never know. At some point I'll probably get 1 million people write me and saying, yeah, we want to join, and I'll be like, I don't have the capacity for all this stuff. Go do so much. I saw that. Oh, by the way, I do have Taking Out the Trash League podcast, which is every fortnight to every once a month, depending on how the moon falls. And we're doing, me and Butch are going to try and do, when Living in Germany doesn't go ahead, we're going to try and transfer that one into a Blackopolypse breakdown podcast, which will talk about conspiracies and all of the above, which is really interesting. We did our first, it's not the first breakdown podcast, but it was a really interesting one talking to him, because he has a wealth of knowledge. I think we're not going to, although BG Prince of Rap would have been our guest this week, our podcast is not just for musicians, but we do have musicians on occasionally, so that works too. Let me see. I like this. This is cool. I wanted to talk about 1 second. I just saw this tweet about Ghislaine Maxwellist. Was that a name? Ghislaine Maxwellist? The wife or girlfriend of Mr. Epstein. And the reason why I'm taking interest in that, because I'm actually watching that 4-part network series. I'm going to find out if that's a name. Is it Maxwellist or Maxwell? I just started watching a podcast, a Netflix series. And it's really interesting to see how this guy managed to convince all these young girls to have sex with him, and then he could pass them around to his friends and stuff and take advantage of him. And when I look at him, I think to myself, he looks like your average boss, man. He looks like your average, like when you go into your boss and go and talk to him, he's like this guy. He's very, very arrogant. He knows he doesn't need to listen to you. He's smart, and it's like, man, this guy, but to be honest, when I saw him as a kid, I was like, yeah, this guy, he was probably, women probably really like, especially these young girls, because that's what I think happens when you turn into someone like this who messes with just young girls. You probably had a lot of experiences when you was young with this age group of chicks, So you're probably like making or concocting a plan in the future to take advantage of these young girls. And that's what I think too. I think a lot of people are just like, yeah, I hate these girls that didn't go out with me back then. So now I'm going to take it out of them now. I'm going to get loads of money and I'm going to take advantage of all these chicks, which I think is just completely disgusting actually. Because you look like an idiot back then. It looks like an idiot now, to be fair. But I don't know, man. So anyway, while I was being distracted, someone wrote, let me see, is it Jordan Maxwell? Is Jordan? She's Lane Maxwell, that's her name. Anyway, someone wrote a list of stuff that happened. I'm going to try and just go through a couple of them because are they for became unsealed. Something, I don't know if it's a record or documents. Dossier was unsealed yesterday. So that would have been the 3rd of August. And it shows all the people who've been charged, which is really weird. I'll go for a couple of them. The Democrat Illinois State Representative Keith Farnham has resigned and was charged with possession of child pornography and has been accused of bragging at an online site about sexually molesting a 6-year-old. I mean, why would you do something like that? You know, I got kids myself, man. That's my daughter. My daughter's 6. And I don't know why someone would think like this. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. And then to laugh about it and brag about it, oh man, it was funny. Not knowing that he's destroyed this person's life years into the future, forever actually, which funny enough was most of the girls who went and messed with Epstein in the first place were people who've gone through that sort of stuff. So all he does is continue the train, continues the cycle. Stupid idiot. Okay, what I find really funny is like Democratic spokesperson for the Arkansas Democratic Party, Harold Moody Jr. was charged with distribution and possession of child porn. Okay, Democratic activist and Black Lives Matter organizer Charles Wade was arrested and charged with human trafficking and underage prostitution. All Democrats, man. Was this really, as soon as I see this, I'm like, okay, wait there. Was this a Trump supporter putting this up? Because Trump's a Republican, and obviously you just think to yourself, he's going to put some anti stuff against Democrats. Actually, I'm going to try and Google some of this, man. I don't even know if this is true. Hold on, let me see. Democrat former mayor of Clayton, New York, Dale Kayan, was indicted for sexual acts against a teenager. Rick Nelson pleads guilty to 5 counts of possession of child pornography of children less than 16 years old of age. Jesus Christ, man. Wait, let me see. Let's see if this is true. Google. Actually, don't even use Google. Use DuckDuckGo.com. Use that and use the BAT browser. You don't need to be using Google Chrome. I was a fan for a long time, but not anymore. Okay. Top rate 182,771 sealed indictments being unsealed. Here's a list of Democrats who've been charged. List of all politicians charged. Ex-Stillwater Mayor gets prison in child porn case. Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is a lot. I mean, what's going on, man? What is going on with this stuff? Who's going around messing with kids, man? Who what is that? I mean, seriously? What kind of fun do you get from that, man? You want to talk to anyone who's 16, man, or younger? Or even 18, even 20 and younger, man. They're not even that smart in the head. Just worry about, because I said it wants the fun. Just worry about shoes and makeup. And these guys having what? Oh, it doesn't make no sense. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this guy pretty much copied and pasted all this. Justice will be served. Where we go. Okay, so it is a Trump-driven thing. Okay, yeah, good. That kind of deflates me a little bit. I mean, you know what? To be honest, I don't think Trump is a good leader. I think the thing is, actually, he could be a really good leader. He might be a good leader, but I think the thing with him is the way he talks. He's either a very smart man or a very stupid man, and sadly, I think he's just stupid. Um, so anything he says, you just don't want to hear it. If you've got two brain cells, you're like, man, I can't listen to this guy, man. Fortunately, yeah. So this is like, okay, so this is Republican there is some Republican people. Let me see. Republican Tim Nolan, chairman of Donald Trump's president campaign in Kentucky, pleads guilty to child sex trafficking. And on February 11th, 2019, he was arrested sentenced to serve 20 years in prison. Okay, so there is some Republicans. Oh, now that makes it more interesting because please no contest. Okay, so it's not really just a pro, because like if it was just Democrats, I would be like, yeah, okay, it's just democratic, anti-democratic stuff. But if there's Republicans in there too, then it's all fair ground, man. This is kind of crazy. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on there. All I know is someone's about to get some people are about to get in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna share that to my boy Simon because he likes that sort of stuff. Anyway, yeah, so that's something I want to talk about. Let's see if there's any more news going on around. Just want to give a shout out to my boys, the NFAC. I don't care what anyone says. That's another thing I can't stand is I was reading on Twitter the other day and people are talking him down and saying, yeah, this guy's a CIA operative. I'm like, it doesn't even when you look at the Black Lives Matter movement, yeah, okay, okay, it may have been funded by the wrong, but it's mobilizing people to stand up and look at things. We don't have to just go with the Black Lives Matter movement. We could say, you know what, Black Lives Matter started off, but now we're here anyway. Would change because I think a lot of people, Black Lives Matter means different things for different people. That means something completely different to me. When I think about it, I'm like, I want everyone to be the same, really. And I'm not talking about all lives matter because that just means, okay, the Europeans stay on top and the black people keep their place. No, I want everything to be the same. I want when I go into a bank, I want people to be looking at me and be like, and not judge me saying, yeah, you come from that postcode or you're this or this or this, and that's why you can't have money. I want them to say, yeah, we're going to give you a chance. We want you to start a Microsoft. We want you to start off a Barclays Bank. We want you to start off a train network, you know what I mean? Or insurance company. No, sorry, we can't help you. Yeah, why? Yeah, just, you don't really fit the bill. You might just leave a bill. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Let's see. I'm going to look a bit more into this thing when I'm offline. Let's see. Yeah, like I was saying, there's definitely people in the how do they call them? Not like coons. Wrong. Who? Oh, by the way, Candy's Owens. Yeah, coon. Let's see. Who's these other guys? No, Shimps. No, not Shimps. That's for women. Anyway, people like Coons or Uncle Tom's. Even though Uncle Tom was actually not a bad guy. I don't know how he got the negative name stuck to him. Doesn't make no sense. Let me see. Just gonna check this out. See if there's anything worth talking about today on this lonely podcast. Actually, it's lonely because now I've lost music. Where's my music? Hello, can I have some music, please? I don't know what happened. I'm gonna put this onto QuickTime Player. I'm gonna get myself a new laptop, new Mac. Sorry about that. A bit loud. Okay, one sec. I'm just gonna check this. Anything coming up? Whenever I put trends in, I just see Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift. Who cares about these guys, man? I mean, someone does, but okay. Barack Obama's trending. Beirut, what's happening? Oh, by the way, Zimbabwe lives matter. Cut that stuff out, you guys. I don't know why you got this corruption in Africa, man. I don't understand it. this corruption in Africa is just over the top and out of control. These guys need to sort it out, man, and see that the enemy is not in Africa. But I understand what's going on, man. You know, they're easily bought, and it's unfortunate to say, but you know, when you're from a poor country, you're easily bought. You know, everyone has their price, and you got all these people now who are like, yeah, you know, I need money too, I need money, and then they somehow make their way into popularity into government, and then, or not even that, man, it's people who've already been in government, like, okay, I'm just gonna pass the baton on to my kids. I'll just pass it on to him, and you keep the money. Then I'm gonna pass it off to this guy. You keep the money. You know, and they're grown up to be like evil and not really care about their people. And I can't understand that. And you know, and then when the people decide to raise up, you turn the gun on them. You turn the gun on your own people. And they have a right, man. They have a right to go and say, look, this is enough. They have a right. Just like the NFAC party, I had to get into it today with some guy, and they were like, yeah, like the black military militia, and they're just gonna cause trouble, arrest them all. I'm like, hold on a minute, just because they don't have the same color as you, is that what it is? As soon as you see a little darker shade of your color, you start thinking to yourself, oh man, they're gonna cause trouble. You ain't even like that. We're standing up to say, look, we're not messing around anymore, we're here. You know, we're here. And I think it's more of an anti-message to the racist groups that run around saying, yeah, we're gonna kill or lynch people, and I'm still doing it, by the way, still doing it all over the world, not just in America, but in England, in Germany, in France, Spain, everywhere. They're still doing it. It's all the same stuff. Anyway, where am I? Massive explosion rocks Beirut, causing injuries and widespread. Okay, man. No. What is this, man? What kind of what? This must be a bomb. Is it a bomb? LeBron James stays on social justice message after Lakers clinch. They must have won the NBA. First number one. Huh? What? I need new internet. I need new computer and new internet. Okay, last time. They went first. The game that clinched the franchise first seed in the Western Conference in a decade. Not interested. Sorry, my football team won the cup on the weekend. I just wasn't interested. Oh, happy birthday, Barack Obama. Didn't know. So Barack Obama's birthday today. That's nice. Trump is saying once again that coronavirus is under control. You gotta kind of just laugh at that. I mean, it could be. I don't know what to say about coronavirus. I think people are going a bit over the top with the whole stuff, and they need to just chill out, because the amount of deaths, the people, look at it this way. For the, I don't know, let's say, I wonder if let's say the 20,000 people who died in Germany, for example, I don't know if it was 20,000 people, let's say it was, they probably would have died anyway, you know? I don't know if people are dying who are not gonna die anyway, and that's the thing. That's where I'm kind of stuck in the abyss, in the conundrum. I'm just thinking to myself, were they gonna die anyway? Because they're always like, yeah, I don't know if someone who was super fit, if they got coronavirus. As far as I know, most people, 99% of the people get over it. So I don't know, man. I think people are taking it too far, man. Really, grandma and granddad's probably gonna die, but you know, they've had a good life and they've done enough to mess up the world. So yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Black Talk, Tom Brady. I don't know who he is. It's all American news. Like, I need to try and figure out some UK news or the United States. Could be United Kingdom. Let's see what's happening in the United Kingdom. Nothing really. Apart from Barack Obama's birthday, there's nothing really going on. Let me see. Will Young, twin brother Rupert, dies 41. Okay, Will Young was a gay guy who sang. Actually, I'm not gonna say. I think that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm actually trying to lose this language to say someone was a gay guy, because that kind of like that's all he was. But he was a man. He was a young man. He won a reality TV music show, like Britain's Next Top. No, I don't know. One of these game shows where you sing and you get first place. He won this many years ago. Yeah, and his brother died, so it's not really big news. Let's see. Next one. Ireland, Brentford. That was a football match. I don't know. There's not really anything interesting happening at the moment. I don't know. There's nothing. George Floyd case put in the trailblazer progression back on in the spotlight. I don't know, man. I don't know what this. I don't know what's going on. And I think I'm going to wrap this up because my better half needs to go and do a call too. So yeah, man, thanks for listening anyway. And yeah, next week we're back in the normal formation and we'll get everything going and we'll catch up on the stuff we didn't get to talk about this week. Keep listening to the Blackopolypse podcast media with your horseman, one horseman, Alstallio. And check out, obviously, my website, www.alstallios.com. Also, join the groups, Facebook, all under the name Blackopolypse. Everything, that's the umbrella name. And yeah, leave a message, a comment, smash the like button if you like what you're listening to. You want to join the fun, leave a comment. Yeah. And yeah, man, I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace out, man. Actually, I should have done that with music in it. I should have done that with music. Doesn't matter though. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, good night.